What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Azriel's Gaming. So today we're going to jump back into Tavern Talk. It's been a bit of time since we played this. I believe the last time we played, let's see, well, I forget, he's gone by so many names. We're just going to call him John, because I think at some point he went by John, but he's the air elemental, the rogue. I believe Jade, I think that's her name, picked up his contract for his parents because he put a hit on them since he found out that they were actually still alive. And I think that was the only quest that's been taken so far. We might have had another one that was taken about to kind of see what was going on with the world when the Great Flood had happened. And I don't think that anybody's come back with that one yet. It's like I said, it's just been so long since I've played. But we're going to hop back into it. And so we are in Act 3, The Twilight Flood. Was that 19 Remnants, 27th of the Astral Moon. Sometimes I have to stop and think about Roman numerals. It takes me a little bit of time to remember what's what. Oh, they still got the Halloween set up. It's been so long. Okay, so Catalage was the name of the achievement I just got. Yeah, Jade. Okay, so she's come back. And I think we advised Jade, like, to talk to his parents, like, not to go through with it whatsoever. So, Jade, welcome back. Was your quest successful? When have I ever failed? Well, you do look surprisingly unbloodied. Also, hello, Kumo. Oh, that's what he's going by, Kumo. Kumo? Who's Kumo? That guy. New name, I'm guessing. No. No names here. Never had a name. Didn't even know what names were. Am I supposed to just go along with that? You're supposed to make me a drink. Then we can talk. Fair enough. What can I get you? I've still got plans for this, but Onyx is pretty tired. So give me something that'll get her to keep up with my speed if I let her have a sip. Anything for Onyx. I love the little turtle. I like how she has a pet turtle. It's so cute. Okay, so we need something with speed. Let's go over here to the normal stuff, which would be the Swift Strike. We make a lot of those. And supposedly they've done a couple updates since then. They've also got some new DLC that's out. I might get that at some point and maybe record it as well. But I've noticed like a lot of repeating drinks and stuff. And I think they came out with DLC that was supposed to, or not DLC, but an update that was kind of supposed to make it so you didn't have to do the same drinks over and over again. But I still feel like I run into those. So, but it's okay. I just like doing the drink elements. So we need a little defense. And then all the agility. Or dexterity. And, oh no, I put too much in there. I forgot, we need a little, there you go, Undo. I don't really give you too many drinks. I need a little intelligence in there as well. There we go. Oh, I poured out too much. Poured out too much of that. I was like, see, it's been so long since I've played this. Okay, there's our Swift Strike. Thank you, Undo. Undo's just happy I finally gave him a drink. I usually do not mess up. A drink for Onyx and you, but mostly Onyx. Not too bad. Concerning to see you know me so well. Being a regular does have its perks. So names. Let's start with the story first. You love those, right? You know it. I'll spare you the details of my journey to Borkham, though I didn't miss the chance to make some extra money along the way. Everyone thought I was the right woman for their jobs. They helped me with the quest too. Squeezed a good description of the renegade parents out of some Red Dune merchant, who was in a deep dispute with a blue-crowned elephant. I'd love to hear that story, actually. Not my problem. Asking a couple of pointed questions got me to the inn the deadbeats were staying at. Problem with people is, can't exactly kill them in broad daylight. With monsters, you'd be thanked for doing so. But with people, you've got to be patient. So I did what anyone would have done in my situation. I posed as a tour guide. And they believed you? Sure did. Iniko was right. Your drinks are great for pulling scams. Happy to hear that. I offered them a tour of the nearby Wadden Sea. and led them to an area I know was shunned by actual tour guides because of an unpredictable tide. Gave them a spiel about how a battle of the Order of Starlight took place there, yada yada yada. Pretty soon, their eyes were glued to some starfish playing in the mud. It was the perfect opportunity to get it over with quickly. Obviously, I wasn't going to kill them just then. They needed a chance to run, but I had to scare them first. I raised my spear right above my head and was about to go for a warning strike when I heard this zinging sound. I deflected the knife that was flung my way at the last second, and it shattered against the ground. Oh, did he show up? I bet it was, yeah. All three of us turned and saw this cloaked Echo reaching for another knife. He had his hood pulled up, knives and daggers strapped all over his body. Even the air seemed to go darker around him. Looked like a real Shadowbane. I trained under them. Impressive. Those deadbeats thought I was protecting them from him. Should have seen the look on their faces when I said I was there to kill them. I turned back, wanting to refocus on my warning strike, when I was interrupted by a simple stop. It was said in this deep, raspy, incredibly fake voice that sounded like some sort of proper degenerate. Likely, the two bums thought we were fighting about who'd get to kill them. Their approach seemed to such a situation was to immediately try and bribe us. I told them to shut it. They asked me what I wanted, then if it wasn't money or words. So I turned to our little Shadowbane and asked what he wanted. But he just stood there quietly. Can't blame him. There's a little scarier than your parents. So you helped him with the decision? Not exactly. I walked over to him and handed him my spear. She said, "This is your choice. Make it." It felt like she was passing some of her courage onto me. He stepped forward, my spear in his hand, and took off his hood. He was... I'll spare you the details. Was he crying? They recognized him, of course. I had the audacity to act surprised. Surprised is one way to put it. When they talked, they sounded so... like they thought I had died. You could have. They left you. I wanted to say something. Anything. Yell, tell them to get lost, scream at them for what they've done to me, but all that came out was, "Why did you leave?" Their silence went on for so long. It would have been longer if those tides hadn't come rushing in. You did kind of walk into that one. Kind of. Luckily, I was quick. Got all of us up on some muddy rock that the waves couldn't reach. How long were you up there for? A couple hours. Left us a lot of time to talk. Did you? Yes. A lot. For example, did you know the primordial flood was caused by the pyre erupting? The pyre? You mean the biggest volcano in all of Asteria, nestled right in Leviathan's domain? Yeah. Apparently erupted and then collapsed, covered all of the primordial sea in ash, and set off a tsunami. It should not be doing that. No. Do you think powerful magic was afoot? Probably not. What use is a giant tsunami to anyone? Maybe they wanted to be wet? Probably not. Are tsunamis and their causes all you and your parents talked about? No. Mostly we talked about the leaving thing. They said not a day went by where they didn't regret what they'd done. I asked why they didn't come back then. They didn't have an answer for that. Mom said she was proud of my knife-throwing skills, though. I never thought they'd apologize. They owned up to all of it, as awful as it was. I hadn't planned for that. They wanted to make up for everything and be part of my life. They also said it was up to me and what I wanted. What do you want? A family. Is that stupid? No, it's not. So you forgave them? No, not yet. I have to see if they actually mean what they said first. I can't trust them right now. We don't really know each other anymore. Who knows if we'll get along? But they did say they want to get to know me, and I think I might like that too. They're just so different. It feels like I'm angrier at people that don't exist anymore. You should be careful. You're still allowed to be angry. I mean, he wants a family, and I would tell him to be careful because, sometimes in situations like that, people can leave again. But he's allowed to be angry, and he should know that. You're allowed to be angry, so I'm going to go with that one. Even if they change, they hurt you. Neither forgiveness or forgetting is required. It just feels unfair. Like I'm harboring resentment for ghosts. But I'll try to be honest with them. I owe that to myself. Plus, Jade threatened to decapitate them if they ever hurt me again. They'd stand no chance. None. Can I have a drink now, too? Sure. Let's trade. Right. A secret. No. A name. I assume Jade didn't know you as Kumo because your parents didn't call you that. Correct? What did they call you then? I'm not... I'll trade you my name. Just give the guy a drink. Your first name? Those are quite precious to Mahadi, right? Very. See it as a secret to trade for. I'm listening. Ulyssia? I think that's how it's... That's pretty. Ulyssia. A beautiful name. I'd keep that name to myself, too. No, it's really pretty. I like it. I don't respond to flattery. But thank you. It's definitely better than mine. Yours fits you. It does not. If you say so. So, not Ulyssia. What would you like in exchange? Maybe something that'll stop me from choking on my words. In case I have to do more of this emotional thing. I've definitely got something for that. Yeah, that's usually the spoken heart. Okay, let's see if I can get this one right on the first try. So we need a little defense. Okay, a little strength. And diplomacy. There we go. Thank you, Andu. Well, that's what he usually gets too, I think. Here you are, some fluid emotional vulnerability. It tastes a lot better than it sounds. Feels a lot better too. Maybe. I still need to call you something else though, if Kumo is out. It is. What have you got for me then? I'm running out of names. Jade, can I... Nope. My name. Fine. How about... Niles. You know what? Sure. I'll go with that. I'm proud of you, Niles. Or it might be Nils. Maybe it's Nils. For everything you've gone through and for choosing what's right for you. Thank you. Do you need a hug? May have already gotten one from Jade. Speaking of me, I've got to go. Want to check in with Grace and her goons. See you around, Airboy. See you around, Ulyssia. Okay, so character information unlocked for Jade. So let's see what new we got for her. Okay, so it turns out she went no contact with her family a while ago, although she's surprisingly good at solving disputes others have with their parents. Also received the honor of learning her first name, and it fits her very well. And the adorable turtle's name is Onyx. Mahadian name schemes, you know. Okay, so apparently I think it's like, I don't think it's like her culture. I think it's the group that she's with, or the Mahadian, if I was, learning all this stuff correctly. Because, it could be her culture, because Scully is one as well. Yeah, because the Mahadian have surnames matching the gemstones their bones are made of. So he remembers the word alabaster, considering the color of his skeleton. It could certainly be matched. It could be her culture. I'm not sure. I always got a little confused with that, because I wasn't sure if it was the culture or if it was like a group that she worked with. So see you around, Ulyssia. What about you? Care to linger a little longer? I need some time to think all this over. Maybe even feel it, too. Is Fable back yet? I think Cheesecake would make for a great distraction right about now. No, I thought maybe you ran into them on the way back. I didn't. So Melly isn't back yet either? No, I'm afraid not. Cool. Great. I guess I'll talk to Carolyn. Your parents? Maybe. Do you think they still love me? I don't know. I hope they do. I hope they'll love you well, but I don't know. I do know that other people love you, and that if your parents fail to live up to what you deserve, you won't be loved any less. I'd like to believe that. Sometimes I just think even if my own parents could leave me, anyone can. Don't measure your worth by the actions of the people that hurt you. Nothing good can come of that. I'm very thankful to have met you. Anyway, I'm also part of the night, or whatever, so I must go. Farewell. See you soon. So that was an interesting turn of events. Oh, we're ending the evening too. We're not even doing the night. Feeding undo, cleaning up, and blowing out the candles. All right, we're in Act 3, The Twilight Flood, 20, Chaos Protocol, 30th of the Astral Moon. Millie! Okay, from rags to riches was the achievement. Innkeeper, surprise? Nice to see that you're back. Is Fable with you? No. Should they be? They were looking for you. They aren't a very good detective, then. I'm happy to see you're well, Millie. Everyone was worried about you. Why? I'm great at taking care of myself. You are, but where have you been all this time? Investigating things, obviously. Like the flood, my investigations led to Moralia. Or more like, they did. Nico, Voy, and Hex, I followed them to Moralia. They were talking about mysteries and puzzles, and I'm trying to solve a mystery, so I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by. You're lucky. People usually pay a lot of money to spend time with me. Oh my god. Why? But because I'm famous? But I didn't go there because of you. I was following clues. Okay. I stayed outside. My case isn't about a wizard, not this time. Where's Hex anyway? You know, doing wizard things. Like studying? Like arson? Let's go studying. Yeah, it's giving depression, to be honest. He immediately wanted to check out the spells we found. Though he seemed pretty disheartened. How come? Not sure. I guess he didn't find what he was looking for. Maybe because the world's greatest treasure was already traveling with him. What would that be? Me. Never mind. He told us to keep an eye out for any time magic razzle-dazzle. But we found nothing. At least you managed to get inside and return safely. Yeah, the way there was easy peasy. We got there thanks to Nico pulling off a shape-shifting trick and pretending to be a merchant. Stole some guy's coat and face and used his reputation to secure us a boat ride to Moria. I said I wanted to meet with a real estate agent from the Macrocracy to buy the island. I told him to pick us up in a few weeks or so. By then, we'd be far gone. What happened once you reached the island? I'm quite intrigued. Before we tell you anything, I'd like a drink. Something that goes down like honey and will make my poetry flow like a wild river. Nothing easier than that. Well, that's what I figured it was. Spoken heart. Okay, defense. Oop, I put too much defense in there. Damn it. There you go. Oh, sorry, Andu. I got that on. I got it all over his head. You know what? He don't mind. He likes that. Little bath. Because it shows me feeding him, but it never shows me bathing him. Some honey for those vocal cords. Enjoy. That's what I'm talking about. Amazing. Can we move on to the story now? You got somewhere to be? Nah, but I'm getting bored. We got to Moria, an island so small it's basically the tower's wild backyard. As I walked between the crystalline roses, I expected to see some secret passageways hiding behind every corner. I almost brought you back a rose. Why didn't you? Rose wouldn't fit my tavern. Why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I would have. Oh, okay, that's, moving on. Dude, this chemistry we got going on, boy. Come on. You could have brought me a black rose. That would have been nice. The tower itself reached so high, I thought it might be reaching out to kiss the moon itself. Although now I want to know if he brought me anything. Usually when people finish the quest, they, bring me a little trinket. So it was really tilted at about a 5-degree angle. I measured it with my paws. The bricks were still wet. I'm sure the tsunami shook its foundation. Would think the waves would have done us a favor and knocked down the door, but nope. That locked door is the first challenge. Iniko's lockpicks broke. Seemed like a skill issue. Broke? Skill issue? Bro, the door ate my lockpicks. Ah, a door mimic. A classic first step to securing your establishment. You talk like you've seen one before. Have you ever tried to open my door when the end's closed? No. If you do, don't use any lockpicks and take care of your fingertips. So how did you get inside? By charming it. Hex forgot his spellbook and couldn't get the arcane lock unlocked spell to work. And obviously, it wouldn't let us in just like that. So I decided to play the mimic a tune. Yeah, that was amazing, bro. Your fancy tunes are the goat. I was nervous. I'd never played in front of a mimic before, so I wasn't sure what their taste in music was. I decided to play something emotional, something that would melt its metaphorical heart. A song of woe. Who would have thought it literally melt? Yeah. I began playing the first tune, and the lock started weeping before I reached the chorus. Tears were streaming down its face. And as if they were very hot or made of acid, the door melted away. Afterwards, the lock lay in a puddle of wood, sobbing and thanking me for my performance. That's not a very sturdy lock. It just sounds very in touch with its emotions. We stepped over the door's remains and into the tower. It was so much taller and bigger on the inside. Like a pocket dimension, so freaking cool. Except a tower can't really fit in your pocket. Bed. Hex walked ahead. Guy was really distracted. He didn't even listen to my poem about the symbolic relationship between axe and door. For a long time, we didn't encounter anything. Just a long hallway. No doors, only a bunch of strange paintings. Of course, most hallways can't go on forever, so eventually we reached the staircase. After what felt like 5.5 minutes. Eternity. Meanwhile, I was outside investigating the flora and fauna. Everything was very peculiar, like it was all from another world. The colors were different, very blue and almost spectral. And there were a lot of spider webs, or yarn, not sure which. Suddenly, the ground shook and almost knocked me off my feet. Who could have guessed there were pressure plates on those stairs? I wasn't paying attention and was too careless. One wrong step and a pressure plate triggered an explosion and clunk. The whole staircase began crumbling down into a pit of nothingness. Bit by bit, starting from the bottom. I rushed upwards to safety away from the weird wizard abyss. I stumbled, and if it hadn't been for Hex, I'd be mush. He grabbed my hand and pulled me up. But he isn't really the strongest, so we almost tumbled down together instead. I figured I couldn't just leave them to fall to their pathetic destiny. So I zoomed down to grab Hex by his collar and pulled both him and Voy Boy back up. Thank you for saving us, Nico. No problem, Voy Boy. Don't get used to it. Didn't you expect a trap like that? After all, a great wizard would want to protect their treasure. I guess we were a little distracted by all the gold hanging from the walls. The staircase ended in a wondrous library that spiraled endlessly higher around the tower's inside wall. We lost Hex at the bottom, in the first row of books. A lot of them were drenched. Didn't seem like the tower was waterproof. There were still primordial water drippings from somewhere above. We couldn't make out the ceiling, tried to reach it though. The second story of the spiral staircase library had 3 paths leading away. Each path ended in a door, and all 3 doors were closed and marked, with runes or paintings or rusty old locks. I got stuck into looking at the library's beautiful murals, each of them depicting a different story. One of them was a mosaic of mirrors. That one was my favorite. Watching Hex look at the books was like reading a thriller. Almost every second book was rigged with a trap, but he figured out the pattern quickly. Something, Fibonacci IDK. Once I was able to pry myself away from the murals, I started looking for spell things. I knew Hex was most interested in those, and, you help when you can. I didn't. I mostly looked at the small treasures lying around. The wizard had this real cool staff with a chunker of a gemstone embedded at the top. Or chunker, probably chunker. Chunker, tomato, whatever. Imagine the damage I could do with that. But I also found something else that was really cool. Here, take a look. It's dope, right? Okay, what did we just get? What? Usually something appears, but I didn't see it. I might have missed it. I think that was still there. I don't know. What is this? A weather jar, duh. It shows what the weather is like in another realm. I see. Let me guess. Avalon? I knew you'd get it. I found some spell scrolls. One of them had golden runes on it. Hex liked that one, but he didn't love it, you know. Then nestled between a few red velvet armchairs, I found a glass case. It had a golden frame and a scroll painted inside, neatly in the middle. Or placed inside. It's painted, good lord. Placed inside, neatly in the middle. The scroll was floating and all that. I knew Hex was looking for more spells, so I called for him. As soon as I mentioned an oddly floating scroll, he came sprinting upwards, staring at the glass case. He already had another scroll tucked into his coat. Honestly, I was expecting him to be carrying half the library at that point, but I guess that would have been too heavy for him. Of course, the stupid glass case was also a puzzle. Had no lock, no lid, no nothing. Just glass in a gold frame. The scroll itself was glowing a promising blue. I suggested breaking the glass. Hex gave me his finest death glare. So he investigated the puzzle himself. While they were doing boring side quests, I made sure to stuff my pockets. Found a jeweled silver paperweight shaped like a bird that'll make for a great blunt weapon. Why do you want to kill everybody with things? Good lord, dude. I think that's it right there. I just noticed this on my shelf. I don't think that was there before, so that must have been what he just gave us. Hex was too scared. We'd destroy the scroll by triggering another contraption, so he suggested we look around in the adjacent rooms. The riddle doors. Hex only had to look at them for a mere second before figuring them out. Apparently all of those murals and runes were reinforcing a story somewhere, hidden somewhere in the library. So he made a search for it. It was tricky. We didn't want to trigger the book traps after all. It was like the library knew what would tempt us the most. I kept seeing books about forgotten songs, rare instruments, and romantic poetry. And I saw books about burglary and fraud. Even had to tackle you to the ground one time so you wouldn't blow us all up. Who can resist a good scheme? It was kind of exciting, seeing Hex hop up and down the stairs looking for the right books. First password was password. The second password was passwords past the password. And the third one was passwords past the password's password. You wish. But no. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy to crack. Good for you. The first room is an alchemy lab full of apparatuses that I'd never seen before. Most of the liquids had gone dry, but Hex insisted on taking whatever was left along with us anyway. Wouldn't let me taste any, though. The nerd was more interested in the study hidden behind the second door. He was really determined to crack all of that old wizard's mysteries. We helped where we could, but listen, I only have like 3 brain cells. The soundscape of the tower was kind of depressing. Silence broken only by the dripping of water and the creaking of old wood. So I sweetened it with a song. It was very easy to get in the flow with that bomb music, Voyo. Thank you? Hex didn't find a key to the glass case, but he at least found a blueprint showing how it was built. Maybe he can find out how to open it using that. That'd be nice. He was pretty beaten up about everything, though. Yeah, couldn't find what he was looking for. Not even in the third room. No. That one was a gem. Didn't know wizards worked out. Maybe it was just a distraction from the hidden vault. A hidden vault? Anything good in there? Oh, yeah. More than our arms could carry. A bunch of artifacts. Most of them probably cursed. Which makes them even cooler. But Innkeeper, you don't even know the funniest part yet. Enlighten me. The whole time the wizard had a spare key to the tower under the doormat. The oldest habit of all time. And we didn't even think about checking for it. I did, but I wanted them to find it for themselves. When they left the tower, I was at the beach with Jade. She'd arrived a while ago to pick us up, and I was teaching Onyx new tricks. She helped us heave all the loot onto her boat. We couldn't take everything with us, so we decided to head back there again another day. There's only one thing that doesn't make sense in this equation, though. That would be... Iniko, Voy, and Hex traveled alone. Well, except for me, they're stowaway. Yet, I found a fresh set of footprints by the coast, before Jade ever arrived. Like there was a 5th person on the island. Maybe someone was there just shortly before us. We didn't even notice, lol. Just like we didn't notice Melina. I'm sorry for staying hidden for so long. Don't apologize. I think you just proved your skills as a detective. We've got a lot to learn from you. What a story. I can't wait to share it with Archie. I'll be on my way now. Okay, so character information unlocked for Voy. Okay, so apparently his IGM, who doubles as a magical teleportation device, and it can open the ethereal weave. Luckily, he's safe as long as he plays the right notes. Slowly but steadily, he's getting over his stage fright, learning how to use his skills. I hope Grace and I get tickets to his next concert. Gotta check up on Hex and make sure he didn't accidentally take a book mimic home. You coming with, Nico? Sure thing. So long, Innkeep. Goodbye, Innkeeper. Don't miss me too much. I'll try not to. Okay, so we got more information on Hex, which is funny because Hex wasn't even here, but he even explored an abandoned wizard tower to look for lost or maybe forbidden spells. According to his accomplices, he was rather fixated on inspecting every piece of loot, as if he was looking for something particular. A spell to protect his sister, maybe? Okay. Now it's just you and me, Innkeeper. Indeed. I'm glad you're back. You're making it sound like I was lost or kidnapped. I was just investigating. Without telling anyone? I don't need to tell anyone where I'm going. People care about you, Millie. They get worried if they don't know where you are. Oh. I'm not used to that. But I care about people too, like you. That's good to hear. Oh, he's back. Millie. Hi, Aura. Hi, Nils. Oh, that name is so outdated. You're back. I am. Did you miss me? I was just very worried. What? You called me Millie. What about it? You've never done that before. I'm sure I have. You even said you'd never call me Millie. I'm just glad you're back. Welcome back to my tavern, Nils. That's a cute one. Yeah, I got it. On my latest quest. Nils, you made a good choice. I also went on a quest. Well, at first I wanted to find the moon swamps. You know, the mysterious magical swamp that is said to be magically hidden and only appears in foggy but starry nights. I've heard there's somewhere in the moon swamp near the portal to the Twilight Chasm. And did you find anything? No. I did find some weird waymakers made of bones that seemed to lead somewhere. They had "Do Not Touch" written on them, and the paint even seemed fresh, so it looked like the perfect clue. But then, suddenly, there were just gallons of water everywhere. Luckily, I got away, and since I was already there, as oh my goodness, I cannot say that, as Fiescio's best detective, it was my duty to discover the world's origins. I don't know if I had an issue with that word before, but... Well, at first I was more of a stowaway than a detective, and I also couldn't figure out what... Don't storm off like that ever again, you understand? I was so worried, and no one knew anything about your whereabouts. Now. Well, you made her cry, you jerk. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. It's just, I haven't cared about anyone in so long. And with you and Fable both suddenly gone, I didn't know what to do. I thought you didn't care. After you went away, even though I asked you to be more careful, I thought maybe you didn't want to be my trusty assistant after all. So I went to investigate alone. I'm sorry for leaving. It's alright. I'm used to people leaving and they sound just alike. And not coming back. I do care, Melly. I'm just kind of new to this whole thing. This whole honesty thing. I'm kind of new to this whole empathy thing. Yeah, I figured. If you'd like, I could fix you a drink to help you find your words again. Don't know if I'm up for trading another secret in exchange. It's on me today. You've got enough to worry about. So, let me see what I can do for you. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I know which one it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be another... spoken word. Okay, and all this, and a whole lot of this. Oh, I got too much defense in there. Gosh darn it. I wasn't even paying any attention. Here you go, Hondo. I'm just going to feed you a lot today. I did not realize I put double in there. I was not paying attention. I was just looking at the lines. You think I would have noticed, but... Thank you, Hondo. Enjoy your magical liquid eloquence. It doesn't taste half bad. This might actually help. So, your quest. Jade said you were stranded on Moria. Yep, I followed 3 very suspicious-looking fellows and somehow ended up on that island. Why do I always run into wizards and magic when I'm out on adventures? And traps. Magical traps everywhere. Sounds very dangerous. A detective's always seeking thrills. I'll make sure to be careful, I promise. It's not about that. I know you know how to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have solved the T-Rex case. But don't keep putting your own life at risk in exchange for a quick adventure. Luckily, nothing major happened this time. This all could have ended very differently. I know. All I'm saying is, don't disappear again. Please. You're not alone anymore. You don't have to do everything all by yourself. Like you're one to talk. I think you've got a point there, Millie. To be fair, Nils has a point. I mean, he's growing. He's grown a lot, since we first started playing this game. But I mean, she's got a point too. But she's also younger, so I'm gonna go with Nils on this one, which I'd sided with anyways because I adore him. But even though they're guilty themselves, both of you are. But you two have also made a lot of progress already, and I'm glad both of you made it back safely. Heard anything from Fable yet? No, not yet. What about Carolyn? She came back after the flood. Currently, she's investigating some undead sightings in the Pale Woods. Oh yeah, that's right. I think she took one of our quests about the undead. Because there was like a lot of zombies roaming around, and that's how Archie's friend ended up dead. Was because of that, so Carolyn was going to investigate it. Do you know when she'll be back? No, but the two of you can wait here for her if you want. Yes, please. I want to stay until Carolyn gets back. All right, I'll keep you company. How about I spice up your wait with another drink? I'll pass. Oh, but I'd like one, please. Of course. Do you want anything specific? That whole adventure was pretty exhausting. Maybe something to combat my mental tiredness? Nothing easier than that. Okay, so that one is, the Sparkling Nebula. That's usually what she gets anyway. Okay, so we need a little this, and then a whole lot of intelligence. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this will wake you up again. Oh, thank you. This is delicious. I can feel my synapses connecting. Now that I've had some time to think about it, I think I figured out why Hex was so bummed about the loot. Care to share your insights with us? But of course. He has a younger sister, right? Which always struck me as odd. She looks so much older than him. So what if she just ages faster than he does? And he expected to find some very special loot in that wizard tower. But he didn't find it. So what if he was looking for something to extend her life? Like a scroll of immortality. What a foolish idea. Hey! Not you, Hex. Even if it's tempting, those are powers that no one should interfere with. I agree. What if she turns into a zombie? I've had enough of them. Definitely. We should tell him when we see him again. Or maybe we should tell Carolyn when she returns. She seems to be experienced in dealing with the undead. You think it'll be a long time before she gets back? I don't know. Could be very soon, but it could also take a few more days. You've had a long day. Aren't you tired, Millie? No. I'm not tired at all. Let's wait for a little bit longer. Maybe she'll show up, and Fable with her. Sounds good. Did she fall asleep? Yeah, oh good God, she fell off. She fell off the bar. Yeah. Maybe I should bring her home and wrap this up for the night. That's a good idea. You should get some rest as well. I'll let you know if I hear anything about Carolyn or Fable. Alright. There's not much for me to do otherwise. Except care for Millie. She needs you. Yeah, I think you might be right. Good night, Nils. You know... forget about it. See ya. Okay, so we got more information about Millie. I mean, was this going to be a confession? Nils, did you need to confess your love for me? I mean, you picked Fable over me. I'm still sore about this. This may be a very long time since I played this game, but I'm still sore about that. And, you know, I thought Voy Boy was holding a little bit of a candle for us, but now I think he's drifting off as well. Okay, so Millie is already a source of inspiration for a certain writer. Maybe because she seems so independent, though her latest adventure has taught her that she can't do everything alone. It's good to see that she allows herself to be a child again after everything, and I couldn't be more proud. Okay, feeding undo. Sweeping up. And blowing out the candle. Okay, so we are in Act 3, The Twilight Flood, 21, Disaster Tea and Revelations, 31st of the Astral Moon. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Hopefully you are enjoying Tavern Talk. I know I very much enjoy it. I'm glad to hop back into it. You know, like I said, it's been a while since I've played it, so I was kind of forgetting some of the stuff that's happened since then. But it's absolutely a very enjoyable game. You know, I love games where I get to make drinks and have conversations with people. And, you know, I find that stuff fun. It's a relaxing game, especially if you've had a really hard and stressful day. And, you know, you can just come in and play, you know, something like this that's just enjoyable. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments what you think of Tavern Talk. Please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.